Well, good morning. It is a marvelously morning. And Maggie's playing with her pillow pet, having a great day. It's a beautiful day. Actually, the temperature went down a little bit today. And I'm going to do my chores. Today is an exciting day because we are going to start a new compost pile today. So Doug and I are going to get busy doing that. But first, I think I need to do some chores and kind of get you guys updated about some of my little chicks in the nursery and the ducklings. Remember the Crested Tolbunt chickens that we had in the A-frame coop here? Well, I've let them out. They're doing great transitioning. And when I do transition, you want to make sure that you keep them in groups. So these were groups that I put out together, so they kind of hang out. So this is kind of like their little peer group. And this guy over here is a rooster, so he is Billy Idol with the crazy hair. They're doing great. Maggie loves them too, and everyone's doing really well. I love them to death. They really do have a great temperament. I'm really happy that my friend Jody kind of got me hooked into doing these because I really do love them. They're a lot of fun to add to your flock. All right, Maggie, ready to finish the chores? Checking on the nursery here in the A-frame and have lots of babies that are doing great. I have my 2 turkeys, as you can hear. She's singing away over there. And the silkies are doing great. You can see there's the silkies. I have a few of them. And then some of them I got to transition and move into the coop because they're all feathered out and ready to go. But the babies, the baby chicks that we had with the mother in the barn, there's one of the little ones right here. And you can see a couple of them. They're doing great, and actually, last night I took the hen, the mama hen, to the little baby chicks that were in here that we had hatched out from the barn and moved her because I had started noticing that she had laid an egg and then she was roosting away from the little baby chicks. So I knew she was ready to transition and get away from the little ones. So I put her in at nighttime when everyone was kind of on the roost, and I put her in the main coop. And now the babies are on their own and they're doing very well, very adjusted with all the other ones, and life is good here. Yeah, Marshmallow is almost as big as Mama. Marshmallow, do you have a new family? Everyone's getting along really well. Marshmallow, I was always worried about that we're picking on him, and then we put him in with the silkies. I moved the silkies into that little A-frame coop, and now he's just having a good old time. They get along great, and then we'll get ready to transition those little baby ducklings in a little bit because I want them to get a little bit more feathered out, just in case, because I don't want them to get eaten. And they're doing great.
Alright, so now we're at the compost center. We built this last year? Yeah, I think it was last year. So if you guys want to see how we built this compost center, you can check that out. But what I'm going to do right now is take off my removable slats that I put on here, just for this reason. And then I'm going to remove this wasp nest that I just uncovered. So if the camera goes off and I come back in a different location with no more wasps, you know what happened. They freaked out, I freaked out, everyone ran, and then we regrouped. They got quite a nest going on there. Oh, and there's a big zipper spider too, check it out. Now that's what you call a zipper spider around here. Totally harmless and actually good for the garden. They eat a lot of bugs. And if you ever seen their webs, it makes like a Z, like a zipper. And that's why they call it a zipper spider around here. And then as you can see, there's my new friends. So I have to deal with them. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but a couple things about the wasps. One, the ducks tried to sneak by. One is you don't want to squish a wasp, because when you do, they release this pheromone, this hormone, this smell, and it creates a lot of other wasps to come into the area when they get that smell. So it's like they're under attack and they send in reinforcements. So don't ever really squish them or squash them. And the other thing is if you just knock the nest down, they'll actually abandon it and leave. It's really weird like that. So you don't have to have sprays and poisons and everything like that. You just basically knock the nest down. They'll get all fired up for a second and then you just leave. But when you come back, they won't come back to that place anymore. They don't bother the nest and they won't build another nest right there. When you're living off grid, basically that means that you're living with no public utilities. So you have no water, no sewer, no trash pickup, no electricity. That's basically the gist of it, okay? So we have to take care of our own compost, our own HUMANURE, our own poop. And the way we do that is an ancient old way to do it. If maybe you're new to our channel and you don't know what's up. We debated having a septic system and also other forms of ways to get rid of or use, you know, our human waste. And through our investigations, we found that septic systems fail and they cost a lot of money up front, and you have to have a leach field, you know, just a lot of things, and they're expensive. So a lot of things deterred us away from going with that. So what we started doing was investigating these other methods of how people dealt with, you know, going to the bathroom. And this is the ancient way that people did it before outhouses or anything else. So the first thing we're going to want to do in our pit here is we're going to dig out an area and we're going to pile up the dirt on the side. We're basically creating a dish so all the liquids can go down to the bottom and basically filter and seep into the ground. So as you're creating your hole, you're basically piling your dirt up on the sides here, just creating a nice funnel. That way all the liquids just go right into this little kind of holding pin. Now we're going to put some organic material down. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Now I would say straw is about the best organic material that you can use. So you're just going to spread that all out in here. And this is actually just some yucky old straw that I had laying around. It doesn't have to be super fresh, brand new straw. I'll use this as the sponge. The drier the straw is as you're working your way up the pile, the better. But it's not really necessary. So if you have some old bales laying around, you could also use hay bales. You know the difference between grass and straw. Straw is the wheat that's been harvested, and that it's a tube as the stalk. They cut that tube and then they create the straw bales. Hay, on the other hand, is just like grass, you know, field grass. And what happens is when you get grass Grass is a blade, it's not tubular, and then when you get that wet, it gets very soggy and squishy. It doesn't retain water as good as straw. So, but you could use hay, some old hay if you had to, and there's other organic material as well, like leaves and sticks and stuff like that. Straw is really easy for us to get around here, about $3 a bale on the square, and you know, so we use it abundantly. But you just want to spread that out. And then the magic starts to happen. Ha! You start uncapping buckets of your poop. And you just pour them right onto the straw area here. We're gonna get done with all these buckets because you don't want to watch this, and we'll catch up with you and let you know what to do next. So as you guys can see, all the stuff is in here. We've emptied out 25 plus buckets, okay? There's no smell, it's been composting in the buckets. And you guys, you know, looking down here, you're not seeing like, you know, sewage like you guys are normally used to seeing if you see some kind of raw stuff like this. What you're seeing here is a compost pile that's basically already in progress to become great humus for the ground. So this is the first step of the long process. Now, we mentioned it before in our videos, you basically fill this up for 1 year, and then you leave it set for 1 year. So it's a 2-year process, and then you can use it anywhere you want. You could use it in your garden, you could use it on your landscaping plants, whatever, in your grass, however you want to use it. So the next step I'm going to show you guys is what you do after you fill this up and you clean out your buckets. We've shown you that before, so we're not going to go through that, but you basically use a biodegradable soap, some water, you clean them up, and then you just pour the water back into this pit. Next up, you put your new straw on top of the pile, and then that keeps down all the odors. We never have flies around this pile. No one can ever smell this pile. This is just how it works. So now I'm going to show you guys what a pile looks like after it's filled for a year and then it has set for a year. So it's a 2-year process. And if you're paranoid about it, you can let it go a little bit longer. So this is like a 1.5 years, maybe almost even close to 2 years. And it's just been hanging out. And as you can see, there's some big grasses growing in here. And they're doing really good. And as you can see, there's the root system. Everything is very healthy. You know, it just breaks down into like a compost, and it's just very airy, and you know, you can see a lot of bugs in here. This is just what you want, right? So I'm just trying to show you guys after the fact that you end up with some beautiful stuff like this. And also, if you didn't want to get fancy and build a system like that, we just started off with the pallets, and then we just built 2 bins. We filled one for 1 year, then covered it and let it set while we filled this one for a year, and then you empty this one, and then you just keep repeating the process. You could add a 3rd bin as well. That way it gives you a little more time in case you want to let them set for longer than a year. Another thing is make sure that you keep a dedicated shovel. You want to just keep one shovel that is for this compost. You want to go using this anywhere else except for at your compost pile. So we see a lot of topics covered off-grid on social media, but this seems to be one that doesn't get a lot of attention. So we try to bring you the little tidbits of information. We've done a lot of videos in the past about it. We've done some newer videos showing you guys how to deal with the situation. And we found, I believe, the most sustainable and most planet-friendly way to do what we're doing here. So if you got any suggestions, leave them down below. So thanks for watching the video. Leave a comment down below, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.